Good morning, everyone, and welcome. We are so happy to have our third family learning meeting for this academic year. My name is Kia Keaton, and I am the Director of School and Community Engagement for On Track Greenville. Today, we are going to discuss financial health, and we have someone here from Self-Care Credit Union, from Financial Empowerment, from Greenville Financial Empowerment Center. And we hope that we have someone from Community Works. We ask that you presenters please speak slowly so that the interpreter can interpret. And if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to put them in the chat. We also have someone who will translate in the chat. So, without further ado, I want to start with Carrie Smith, who is with Self-Care Credit Union.
Good morning. And this presentation will be available to everyone afterwards. This just going to give you an overview of what we do at Self-Help Credit Union to assist our community in access to credit. And our mission at Self-Help is creating and protecting ownership and economic opportunity for all, especially people of color, women, rural residents, and low wealth families and communities. And we do that through various ways. And on this slide is just our core values of how we operate every day. And this is just to give you an overview of what we do. But we do value very much diversity as a strength and our mission. And that's the reason we use the bicycle to just illustrate how we go about doing our work. And under the self-help umbrella of families, there's actually 5 entities. We have Self-Help Credit Union, which is the one that's here in Greenville. But we also have a federal credit union that's located out west, the Midwest, and California and Washington State. And we also have our Ventures Fund, which we do some work around commercial lending. But probably one of the ones, our sister organizations that we're definitely want to touch on a little bit today is our Center for Responsible Lending, which is our national policy arm that works on consumer lending issues around student loan debt, predatory lending, and things like that. And we are actually working very closely with the South Carolina Fair Lending Alliance and working to cap interest rates in South Carolina. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. But we are a full service financial institution, meaning that we have savings accounts. Sorry about that. But we have savings accounts that you can open as little as $5. And then you have access to all of our services. So we have checking accounts and money markets and certificates of deposit, IRAs, health savings accounts. And we have a nationwide ATM system that's completely free with almost 80,000 ATMs across the country that our members can use for free. And we have no NSF fees or non-sufficient fund fees. We did away with that this year. We felt like that is a tax on the poor. So we've done away with those fees. We also have loan products, things like auto loans and ways to build credit through a credit builder loan, or we have a share secured MasterCard for folks that are needing to rebuild their credit. But we also do home lending and home equity loans as well. And our home mortgage loan program is the one that I am the most excited about, because it's designed for first generation home ownership. And for those of you, for our families in On Track, we really want to stress how, home ownership is the fastest way to build wealth. And with housing prices and things, rent going up, now may be a great time to think about becoming a home buyer. Um, we do mortgages for people with a 580 credit score and above. And we use alternative credit. So if you have utilities, cell phone bills, and rent, that we can document, we can use that. So even if you don't have a lot of credit right now, we don't charge private mortgage insurance. And we can finance up to 105%. But this particular program builds in down payment assistance as well as grants to provide you your first savings account for your home in case you have some type of, your water heater goes out or something along those lines. And we offer financial education throughout the whole process. And we work a lot with, you're going to hear from the financial empowerment centers. They have a great HUD program as well. So we do partner with Community Works and with the financial empowerment centers. And then we also do it in-house. So trying, home ownership is something that we believe that not everyone has had access to that. So, and we also can open an accounts for folks without a social security number. So if you know anyone or yourself, if those things are concerns, please stop by and see us. We have 4 branches in Greenville. Mills Avenue is near the hospital, main Prisma campus. And then we have our Woodruff Road branch, which is over near Easter Road on Woodruff. It's just down from Walmart, that area of Woodruff Road. And we also have one at the GE plant on Garlington Road, as well as an office out at the GE aviation plant. And this is the last thing that I just want to share with everyone is that in South Carolina, if you're not aware, alternative lenders like payday, auto title, and installment loans lenders, they can charge any interest rate they want, inclusive of 950%. That's the highest interest rate filed. And we are working, the South Carolina Fair Lending Alliance, that Self-Help and the Center for Responsible Lending are actively involved in, is working to get legislation passed that would cap interest rates at 36%. And so we are in the process of looking for folks that may have gotten caught up into predatory lending through payday or installment or a title loan. If you or any of your family has gotten caught up in that type of lending, have them reach out to us, and we would love to chat with you. You can also go to the website and visit capratesc.com and learn more about the issue. But we believe that it's important for all citizens of South Carolina to receive fair access to credit at a reasonable price, an affordable price. And at Self-Help, we invite you to come by, see us. We would love to serve you and your family in any way, whether you've already into your journey of home ownership or starting a business, or if you haven't started yet, come see us and we can help you begin that journey to financial security. We look forward to seeing you, and I appreciate your time so much to share what we do at Self Help.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. That is so much great information that we can all use. We will be getting this information to everyone, and stay tuned as we get you all of that information. We're going to move on now. Oh, well, before we move on, let me stop and make sure. Does anyone have any questions?
It's a question, but I wanted to say that I think it's great that they're pushing for that legislation, and thank you for everything you do.
Well, thank you for that. And please, if you have any stories or if you know anyone that's caught up, please ask them to reach out to us. Legislators like to hear those stories, because they personally are not necessarily aware that this is an issue.
Great point. And we all need to reach out, not only vote, but also reach out to our representatives, because there's so many things they can do to help us.
And you do not need to make an appointment to come in. I see that in the chat. You can stop by and see any of our member service reps or the manager.
So someone
She's asking what kind of identification you need. That's the question that's in the chat.
We would just need a copy of some type of state issued ID, if it's a passport from whatever country, that has to be valid. And then one other piece of ID. And that can be something as simple as your utility bill showing your address, that kind of thing, where you live. So it could be a passport from, whatever country, and then and some other documentation, which, like I said, can be a utility bill, a cell phone bill, something like that with your name and your address on it.
Okay. Are there any Spanish speakers at Self Help?
Yes, we do. We have Alejandra at the Mills Avenue, and then we have Connie that is over at our Woodruff Road office.
We now have Cheryl Hanshaw from the Greenville Financial Empowerment Center.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to share my screen. And my name is Cheryl Hanshaw. I'm the program manager with the Financial Empowerment Center. We work a lot with self-help, and so we're very excited by the work that they're doing in the area of Greenville. All right, to kind of give you a background on the Greenville Financial Empowerment Center, we are actually housed in the Greenville County Human Relations Commission, which has been around since 1972 and has worked to fix the housing inequity that is in Greenville County. We have HUD certified housing counselors that can help with foreclosure prevention. If you own your house and you're having trouble with paying your mortgage, they can help you with making modifications, help you with working through that process to try to keep your home. We also have housing counselors who can help with landlord and tenant disputes. So if you've had issues with your landlord, you have questions about that process, if you're possibly going to get evicted, please give us a call. We can help you through that process. We also have HUD counselors that can help with discrimination and fair housing issues. This happens a lot. Do not feel like you're the only one this is happening to. Please speak out if you feel like you've been discriminated against. We are here to help, to be an arbitrator, and to try to get the situation resolved to your benefit. We also provide a home buyer education class. So when Carrie was speaking about the mortgages, if you're going to get down payment assistance, that home buyer education class would be required. And we do provide that once a month. And then we also provide services for people who are homeless or possibly going to become homeless, on getting them rapidly rehoused. That is dependent upon having the funds for that. So sometimes we have the funds, sometimes we do not, but we definitely want people to call if they are in that situation and they need help. All right, so tell you a little bit about the FEC. First, there is no cost to our services. There is no income limits to our services. We will help anyone, and there's no limit to the number of times that you can meet with us. Many people ask, is it just the first session that's free? Nope. You can meet with us for as long as you need. We are here to help you with your finances, hopefully help you to get rid of some financial stress and to get to the point where you have some financial freedom. Typically, the first session is about 60 minutes. So we ask that you try to block out that much time if possible. We can do our sessions in person or by phone or Zoom. We try our best to work with your schedule. So if you're trying to meet during your lunch hour, it might be easier for you to meet over the phone rather than trying to come and meet in person with us. If you would like to meet with us in person, we are at the Greenville County Human Relations Commission, which is at County Square, where you would pay your property taxes. We also have a counselor who is at Taylor's Branch Library once a week. We have a counselor at Greenville Technical College twice a week. All of our counselors are certified, they're professional. Your sessions are confidential. We're not going to share your information with anyone, and they're all individualized. It is one-on-one. So it is not a group. You don't have to worry about sharing embarrassing or things that you don't want to share with the public. Don't have to worry about that. It's just talking one-on-one with your counselor. And it's going to be goal-based. We're going to find out what you want from your finances. Do you want home ownership? Well, we're going to do what we need to do to get you ready for that home ownership. Are you looking to just pay down debt? We're going to find out what we need to do to get you in that position. So our main focus at the FEC is that we work to help people build their savings, pay down their debt, improve their credit score, and make sure you have safe and affordable banking options. So as I said, we work with self-help a lot because they are a safe and affordable banking option. And when people come to us looking for home ownership, all four of these components go into getting you ready to be able to go into a mortgage lender and get approved for a loan. So I wanted to share a few tips today on each one of these, just kind of a tip to the iceberg of what we do that you might be able to take away and use today. So when we're talking about affordable banking, Carrie touched on the predatory lending that we have in South Carolina. It is a real problem and many people are trapped in it. So we're doing our best to try to get people into traditional banks and credit unions that have lower fees. We suggest bank-on certified accounts, which self-help is. These accounts do not allow overdrafts, which means that you're not going to be trapped in a fee cycle. We definitely love credit unions. And then there's also the possibility of online banks. If you've had trouble with a banking experience before, that may be a way to start, but we would definitely love for you to get into a brick and mortar bank because having that relationship opens up the door to many other financial banking products. Wherever you go, we want to make sure that it's FDIC or NCUA insured. FDIC is for a traditional bank. NCUA is for credit unions. Both of those protect your money up to $250,000. Many people come to us and they tell us they're afraid of banks, but we've had situations where people have had theft and they've lost all the cash that they had saved, or they've had a fire. And so in this situation, if the bank burns down, your money is still safe. It is insured. Now, a lot of people tell us that they have no savings. They don't know where to start. The biggest thing is to start small. As Carrie said, with self-help, you can open up a savings account for as little as $5. There's no fees with it. There's no minimum balance requirement on it, which is very nice. So you can put small amounts in there. We recommend taking a small amount from each paycheck and automatically putting it into your savings account. Start with $5. and then move up. You'll find that you won't miss that money because it's gone. You never see it in your checking account. So if you take it from the top, you're more likely to keep it. Make sure to keep it separate from your regular account. If you leave it in your account, you will more than likely spend it. Would definitely recommend that people try to start an emergency fund. Start off with a goal of just $500. That can make or break the difference when you need new tires on your car. Think right now, if you have nothing in savings and you find out you need new tires, that can be easily $400 or $500. Where's that money going to come from? That could obviously cause a lot of stress, cause hardship on your family. But if you have that money saved, you can reach into that savings and it takes that stress out of your life. Track your expenses, create a budget. I'm a real proponent for budgets. If you know where your money's going, that's going to help you make a plan and it's going to put you in control. Trim back on choice categories. When you track your expenses, find out exactly how much you're spending. Most people don't realize how much they're spending in categories outside of their bills. How much are you really spending in groceries? How much are you spending in eating out? We can choose what we go and buy at the grocery store. I can buy ribeye steaks or I can buy ramen noodles. Both of them are going to feed my family, but there's a big difference in the price. And look for more inexpensive options. If you typically buy brand name items, see if you can buy the off brand. See if your family is just as happy with that off brand Cheerios as the name brand. You may save yourself a couple dollars here or there that you can start putting into a savings account. Now with credit score, a lot of folks come to us with needing help with building your credit score, and this is just the very tip of the iceberg. First, make sure to pay on time. Talk to creditors if you need to. If you feel like you're going to be late, see if they have any sort of payment arrangements. You actually have 30 days after the due date before it goes on your credit report. So you have time to resolve that issue before it hits your credit. Limit the inquiries or the number of times you're trying to get new credit. If you try to get new credit too often, it can start to have a negative impact on your credit score. Opening new credit can have varied results, and that is one I would definitely recommend that you talk to us about, because we can look at your individual situation and make recommendations based upon what is already on your credit score. There's a service called Experian Boost that allows you to connect to your utilities and your regular payments that can increase your Experian credit score. Talk with your landlord. There is a possibility that they may agree to report your rent. That's another way of increasing your credit score. Using credit cards, there are specific ways that you can responsibly use a credit card to help build your credit score. That's another one that we would love to talk to you about. And also check your credit reports. Make sure that the information that's reported on your credit report is correct. Mistakes happen and they can impact your score. Now, how to break the debt cycle. If you feel like you're in a paycheck to paycheck cycle, first thing, you have to create a budget. You have to know where your money is going in order to start breaking that cycle. You may, depending upon your credit score, be able to refinance some of your high interest loans or credit cards into lower interest rates. Make sure to keep your debt paid on time. If you're carrying a balance on your credit cards, stop using them. It is so hard to break the cycle of credit card debt if you continue to use the credit cards. And then we can help you with setting up a debt snowball plan, which can give you a plan and give you goals on how to keep you on track. So if you have heard what I had to say today and you're interested in getting more help, this is our information. We are grant funded. We share demographic information with our grant funders, but nothing having to do with your personal name. Our hope is to continue to be able to provide free services. You can book an appointment with us by calling 467-7503 or going to our website at greenvillefec.com. All right, if anybody has any questions, please let me know.
Would you please provide us a phone number?
It is 864-467-7503. And I'll put it in the chat. And we do have a bilingual counselor, Adriana Ramsey.
864-467-7503. Y hay una persona que se llama Adriana Ramsey que habla español.
Okay, so we're gonna move on. We had planned to have someone here from Community Works. I don't think that they were able to come today. If someone from Community Works is here, please let me know so that we can hear from them. So I know that people are still posting in the chat. If you have questions, you are more than welcome to mute or post in the chat. We want to thank everyone for being here today. Specifically, we want to thank Cheryl and Carrie for presenting. We want to remind you, these are the meetings for the rest of the academic year. I'll also share the Spanish one. So the next one is on mental and emotional health on January the 11th. January the 11th is mental and emotional health. And then I also want to share with you that we at On Track Greenville have been working to ensure that we are able to have a YouTube for On Track Greenville. So if you miss part or any of the family learning meetings, you can now go on our YouTube link. It's at On Track Greenville 6882 and see our family learning meetings and lots of other events and things that we've done. So this will be available shortly. We're also recording it in both English and Spanish. So this is the On Track Greenville page on YouTube. Thank you all for showing up today. We really appreciate your enthusiasm. This is a wonderful subject. I also want to personally let you know that the Greenville Financial Empowerment Center has helped me personally. It's helped my students. I used to work at Greenville Technical College. They've helped students get cars, help them save for houses, get their credit cleaned up. Me personally has helped me figure out my taxes, figure out my student loans. So they're a wonderful resource. We also want to remind you, because it is becoming tax season soon, remember that the United Way has the VITA program that will help anyone with taxes. And if you have questions, please reach out and we can get you that information. It's at the Opportunity Center.